Looks like goddamn Mario Kart out here.
Checkered everything.
There's something on that car.
It's a hang.
Daddy's home.
What the shit? Race control.
Like, one more car and I'm taking it out of your ass.
I'm gonna take this track and make it my bitch.
Did you know that races are won and lost in the pits?
I did not know that.
Did you not?
The IMS is the best there ever was.
Daddy doesn't do road courses. Daddy only does ovals.
We certainly don't take ourselves that seriously, so you shouldn't. Welcome to Fast Cars, Fast Girls with Abby and Molly.
Hey everyone, Molly here. We have a great interview with our favorite up-and-coming driver, Sabré Cook, for you guys. She talks to us about her racing season, the amazing INFINITI Award she won, and her future plans. And that actually may be the only time a guest has completely surprised Abby and I. We had a blast with this interview, and we think that you will thoroughly enjoy it. Well, we have with us today Sabré Cook, USF2000, Formula 4, all sorts of fun things this season. And we wanted to chat with her about her full season and what's kind of coming up for her. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
So let's just kind of dive in. Could you maybe describe for us or kind of talk about the season you had for USF2000?
So USF2000, it was a bit difficult just because, I only ran really maybe half the season, I think, and just not really any extra testing outside of the race weekends, and so it made it difficult to perform, and had some unfortunate luck, but I didn't feel, I expect better results out of myself, and I think a lot of other people did too, and it made it just hard to kind of compete with the limited budget and limited seat time. So definitely a bit disappointed with how it went, but I'm glad that I got the chance to do it for the short period that I did.
Good. If you were to maybe pick a moment out of that season and kind of call it your favorite moment, what would you pick?
Oh, I guess positives was being, I was really quick at the Road America test.
Yeah.
So that was something that was good. And, but other than that, I had fun, racing, and I had good pace and just didn't end up finishing in one of the Road America races. So, those are good moments, but, I guess honestly, I'm more just, there's more bad than good, unfortunately, this season.
Sure.
Well, and that, I say, racing is kind of a cruel mistress in that regard, that there's a lot more negatives than positives, and so... So, how do you stay positive after a season that didn't go as well as you wanted it to?
I guess, it's part of everybody's career and just part of life. You have those years or races or months or days where things don't go the way that you want them to. And that's life. Nothing ever really goes to plan. And, I guess just knowing what, you need to do to keep your, just have that successful formula and know what your successful formula is. Mm-hmm. And then obviously when you don't have success, it's probably because, one of those steps or key ingredients are missing. So you just kind of try to always go back to working hard and being as prepared as you can to do better the next time.
Good. What do you think is one of the big lessons that you've learned from this season?
I think if I could do it over again, I probably I wouldn't have worried so much about trying to get to the race, and I would have done more preparation and then maybe done one or two races, so that way I could have done well at those instead of trying to spread myself thin and do just the race weekend. So I think that's something that I learned a lot about, and just how important it is to have a good team around you.
That is an excellent lesson. That's a very smart takeaway.
It really is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it kind of stinks now, but I definitely learned my lesson that way.
That's okay. I think that's part of life, right?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So not only did you get to do USF2000 this year, but you got to do 2 races in Formula 4 at New Jersey and COTA. So how did that come about? Because that was really cool too.
So I ended up doing the F4 races because I was running, obviously, with Team Bennick and the USF stuff, and they also had F4 cars that they were running, and then so it made sense to go with them and run, because the USF series was over, but F4 is quite a bit cheaper to run. So I was able to, do those 2 last races for a good, cost-effective budget of what I had, and then it was an amazing event, obviously, to go run at COTA with the F1 race. So I really enjoyed it, and I had maybe some more, I guess, like, I felt like it was easier to adapt to those cars, I think, probably because anytime you go slower in speed, it's like it's almost like, it's like, oh, this isn't so bad, because going from a USF to F4 is quite a bit, it's like 5 seconds or so slower a lap. So it's, I think that benefited me in that respect for sure. And I had some good pace. Just, I didn't get to qualify either of the races that I went to. We had issues qualifying, and so I had to start last at COTA and last, I think, at New Jersey as well, just because I didn't get to qualify. So that was unfortunate, but it was good racing, so I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah. So you kind of talked and mentioned a bit about COTA, about how interesting or exciting it was to be there during the F1 weekend. I mean, how was that as a race car driver yourself, to be there during the big F1 event?
It was next level. Yeah. Like, I'd never seen an F1 paddock or race, and in real life, and being able to go down and look at the garages and everything. It was just, it was mind blowing on the whole operation that they had, and it would be really cool, I think, to also go, maybe to like a European race, because there's not, like, America doesn't really know that much about F1, so there wasn't, I feel like the atmosphere might be a little more, intense probably at one of the European races or something like that. But it was really cool either way, and it was a great time, and it was super busy, and just a lot going on, but it was a really cool experience.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent.
You alluded to this a bit. You talked somewhat that the F4 cars are a bit slower than the cars you drive in USF2000. Are there any, similarities or difference? Could you kind of compare and contrast the 2 different types of cars?
So the F4 car is heavier than the USF2000 a little bit. It has less horsepower, less downforce, and the tires are typically grippier.
Okay.
And just the tire compound that we use with the F4s just has a little bit more. I think there might be a little bit softer, but other than that, obviously the bodywork is a bit different, and there's not like some of the wings aren't. They're not like the front wing on the USF car is carbon fiber, but on an F4 car is not. So those are kind of like the big main differences between the cars, I would say. And obviously, like, the engine packages is completely different, but they're still both paddle shift 6-speed, so they're pretty much, they're similar in that ways. The steering feels quite a bit heavier in an F4 car, I think, just because just a little bit more grip, but it has lower horsepower, so it's not like breaking the tires loose as much, so it's just like you've got that probably bigger contact patch, and it's also a heavier car, so that's why it's probably heavier too.
Did you, was it like a steep learning curve, or kind of explain to us how you had to kind of go from, like, I've been driving USF cars, now I've got to drive this Formula 4. Was there a huge mind shift change, or was it similar enough?
It wasn't like a huge mind shift change. They're still open wheel car, and they're still like, the proper way to drive that. And just, I guess with the F4 car, the only thing you really had to worry about more so than the USF is like keeping your momentum up, because they're just, they don't have the horsepower and they're heavy. So it's like, you gotta keep your speed up and keep your keep that inertia going most of the time. So
Sure.
that was probably be something that you just had to focus on over the USF car. And the braking was a little bit, just like the feel of the brakes was different, but you still try to achieve the same brake shapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And we can't not talk about your weekend at CODA without you telling us all about the INFINITI Engineering Award that you won.
Okay, yeah. It was like one of the most stressful weeks of my life, I feel like. But then I look back at it and I'm like, oh, that wasn't so bad. But like going into it, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? So, because I went and we did the evaluations. I got there Tuesday night to do the evaluations, and we did Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Was the competition, and then we were on track Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
It was like going one thing to the next, but yeah, it was an amazing experience. I actually applied to the academy 3 years ago and went to the national finals there as well. I was just kind of towards the very beginning of my engineering educational career, so there was just some key things that I just hadn't learned yet. I did good with like the hands-on stuff, but then there was like, we have to take a technical exam, and that was like, I was like, I have no idea what half this stuff is or how to do this, like, because I just wasn't taught. So then I decided, actually after recommendation of my engineer this year, I talked to him about it, and he's like, yeah, well, just apply, might be a good backup or whatever, we'll see. So I ended up applying and and ended up making it back to the finals as well. And there was 10 of us the first day, and we had to do so we started off, we went to the INFINITI dealership. We had to do like an engineering exam, personal interviews. We were given like a bunch of data, and we had to make a decision on a, like, basically whether to race or not, and some other stuff depending on reliability that they've had issues with. And then we had to do like a RC card, like dragster challenge, and so we could change like a bunch of different parameters on the car. We were split into 2 teams for that. And then the next day, only 3 of us made it to the second day, and we were actually taken to the F1 track.
Wow.
And it was so cool. So like, it was nice because we got to like spend a little bit of our time, like before we started in the second day of the competition, we just got to see everything and tour the garage, and it was really cool. And then we did like a technical challenge, where basically, like, to summarize it very quickly, it was just like we were given like these infrared testing machines, we were given these samples, we had to given all this data, had to figure out what these samples were, and then supposedly we were given another sample, it was found like in the air filter, and had this, it's a whole hypothetical situation, and we basically had to figure out what the substance was and then decide what to change before qualifying. And we only had like a certain amount of time to do all this. And then we had to just justify our decisions to the judges. And then we did a 30-minute like media grilling in front of the press. And then they chose the winner. So that was all like that's what we had to do during those 2 days that was the finals. Up until that point, we just had to like you could submit your resume online, and you take like an exam, and then you do like an online interview if you make it to the second step. So that's like basically that whole process.
Okay, well, first of all, that sounds amazing. You basically got to do CSI at a racetrack.
Yeah.
Race car CSI, I guess.
Race car CSI. I think that's the next one. It's CSI Race Car. I'm pretty sure that's happening.
Yeah.
That would be a good show. I would like that.
I would watch it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I totally would. That is very cool. And I love all the different areas that you got evaluated on for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very comprehensive award.
Yes.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff, but it was super fun, and the judges and like the whole managing company that helped put it all together and told us where to be when, they did a really, really good job. So
that's always good.
Yeah.
That is always good.
Oh my goodness. And you also won it was a hard charger award too, didn't you?
Yeah, for the F4 race I did, since I saw last.
We're going to make you humble brag here.
Yeah, so it was a good race. I mean, I did the best I could with the yellow flags and everything like that. But it was cool. It was interesting because we'd only been on a wet track until qualifying, and qualifying was like somewhat wet, and then it went dry in the first race. So the first race was the first time we'd been on a dry track. So it was like not really sure, you're like, okay, I've never driven this in the dry. Like, I'm going to brake here and just hope this is right. So it was hard to, adjust to that and try and pass at the same time. But it was a good challenge, and COTA is a really, really amazing track. And I'm excited that IndyCar is going to be there next year.
I am too.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun, I think.
It is.
Yeah, it will.
Also, the
I'm surprised it's taken them so long to get there, to be honest. Yeah. I thought they would have been there already, but
I don't. There's like weird negotiations that I'm sure we will never be a part of, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is a very cool track. I'm very excited that IndyCar is going there this next season.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know if do you know if USF's going to be racing at COTA?
I do not.
I don't know either.
No. I mean, with the Renault, so with the INFINITI and Renault thing, I have to move to England in 2 months. So.
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over there, and I'll live there for a year.
Oh, wow.
And I'll work 6 months with Renault Sport F1 and then 6 months at the INFINITI Technical Center. So I'm not, they're willing. We had some discussions about them being willing to help me still race, but I think racing in the U.S. is probably not super feasible if I'm going to be over and living over there, because of the time I would have to take off just to fly here. It would kind of be an issue with because you only get a certain number of days off. So so I'm not really sure. Unfortunately, I don't think that I'm going to be doing USF2000 next year, just because I won't be in the country.
I think it's a pretty darn good reason. You're going to be learning amazing things at like Renault Sport. I mean, my goodness, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is really fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing experience.
Yes.
But, it's overwhelming. I'm definitely like a little stressed out about it. I'm not going to lie, but it's a big change, but I'm going to just do the best I can with it.
Oh, I have no doubt you're going to be absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
My goodness, this is so cool. Well, a lot of people go over to Europe to race and then come back, so maybe
this is true.
Some like good juju, and like all of a sudden you'll like meet a great sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, from what I hear though, unfortunately, the budget's in to run similar series like an F4 or F3 over there it's way more expensive than it is here. So I'm like, oh man. So we'll see what ends up happening, but
that's so cool.
Yeah, that is very exciting. So, that's wild. So you said in 2 months you're moving?
Yeah, we're supposed to be. They haven't given us a ton of information yet, but about like the beginning of January is when we'd be arriving.
Gotcha. And you still get to do the holidays in the States, and then.
Yeah, that's nice that they let us stay through then. So I'm excited to be there, but I need to like start packing like now.
All right, so this was all based upon the winning the INFINITI Engineering Award, and so that led to this sort of like year. I kind of want to call it a sabbatical,
or like an internship almost, or
yeah, it's like an internship. Okay. I mean, it's a paid internship. So basically, the way the INFINITI Engineering Academy works is there's 7 global finals, and so there's going to be 7 of us that will go and do this. And I think we 3 of us will do the INFINITI part, while the other 4 of us do the Renault part, and then we switch.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So I think the global finals it's Europe, U.S., Canada, Mexico, Middle East, China, and Asia, Oceania.
Oh,
so those are the 7 places.
Very cool.
This is so prestigious. My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll hopefully I could contribute to all their all their development over there. So I'm really excited to be a part of it.
That is so cool. I'm so excited for you. I think this is going to be just such a great opportunity. Oh my goodness.
So like, what happens at the end of the year then?
So basically, I think some of the candidates that, after they do their year-long internship, we do, if they're interested, I believe we get offered a job, or we can decide to, obviously, we just move back to the States and pursue something else, or it's totally up to us. But the contract is just for that year. And then whatever else happens. I know some of them even leave the internship early because they get offered like a full-time job from INFINITI or Renault. So you never know what's really going to happen until you're there and they kind of see what you can do.
Well, that's really exciting.
That is very exciting.
It's like an adventure.
Yeah, it's going to be an adventure.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they already speak English over there. So
and there's a paid internship.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good things.
It's a paid internship. That's nice.
Don't have to learn a new language. Don't have to.
That's nice that it is paid. I mean, we're not getting paid like the huge dollars, but just enough it's very, very nice of them to do that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, it's great you're doing that. It's great that it starts after the holidays. You can kind of have that last sort of hurrah before you start your big adventure.
See all the family before you move across the pond.
Yes.
Ooh, yes.
My brother has miraculously decided he's going to help me move, but I'm pretty sure that's only because he wants to go see and try and meet English girls.
No, that's 100% why.
I mean, but you know what? Free help is free help.
I mean, take it though. But yeah,
It's true.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure. Like, I'm like kind of, I think I'm being a little bit of a girl in the way I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to fit all of my stuff in like 4 suitcases to move for a year. I'm like, how am I going to do this?
I don't know how many outfits to bring. You don't know the weather. It's a whole girl thing. I get it.
No idea.
Don't pack toiletries. They have stores there. I'll tell you that.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I packed for an internship for 4 months, and it was rough.
Yeah.
You can also ship things there, so.
That's what I think I'm gonna do for a lot of stuff. I'll just take like probably all my clothes and things and go from there.
Yeah. Just start putting piles out for your family to ship at different intervals during the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
I'll
if your brother wants to fly back out.
First.
Yes. Oh, wow. This is going to be so exciting for you. I can't wait to see how this turns out.
I know. I'm excited to follow along with you on social media and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll try and post as much as I can, and as much of what I'm not sure what we'll be allowed to show that we're working on, but I'll definitely post all of my adventures.
That's awesome. And since we're talking about it,
where can everybody find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook. I have a fan page, it's Sabré Cook Racing, and then Instagram and Twitter, it should just be Sabré Cook. And you can find me on all those. I'm on LinkedIn too. I don't really know if people do that much, but I have Pinterest, but it's mostly of dogs. So
I mean, I'm here for that.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Well, this is just to have some fun questions too. So we are coming up on holidays. Do you have any like special family traditions that you guys do around any of the holidays? Anything fun you're really looking forward to?
Or anything quirky that your family does?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Halloween. So my mom raised us pretty religious, so we decided she wouldn't let us celebrate Halloween for like a good portion of our childhood.
Oh my gosh, no, we grew up the same way. I literally just wore my first scary Halloween costume this past weekend.
Really?
First in my entire life. I'm 34. So, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, like, we would do a thing called Harvest, and we would do, like, some fun fall activity, but we didn't do that this year. But that's, like, something, I guess, that our family used to do. And then Thanksgiving wise, I mean, it's pretty traditional.
Sure.
My grandma makes amazing deviled eggs, so that's mostly what I look forward to. And Christmas, I guess we have a tradition of opening one present on Christmas Eve.
Ooh.
And it's usually pajamas.
Oh, I like that. That's kind of a fun thing to open up, though. Aww.
Yeah. Christmas Day pajamas, I guess.
It's always fun. It's always fun.
I like that.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Okay, well, first of all, we're just flabbergasted to meet somebody else who was not allowed to celebrate Halloween.
Yes.
It's a very small club of us, but I'm excited to find another person.
Now,
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Oh, no.
No,
Now,
oh, no.
did you dress up as Bible characters instead?
No, I never. We we kind of did it when I was like a lot younger, and then from probably like, I don't know, it was like 9 to adult, like 18, when I could decide to do it on my own. We didn't do anything. So,
okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, we had, like, our church would have a big thing on Halloween, but it was All Saints Eve.
Yes.
And you could come in costume, but it had to be Bible characters, so.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you had to dress up, right?
It's true. We did get to dress up. And we still got candy, which I guess was the important part.
Yeah, we did get the candy.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, as far as holidays, my family plays a lot of cards. So we always love playing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we play a game called Liverpool. So that's...
Ooh, what is that?
It's like a combo of Rummy 500 and Face 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not sure if I know either of those.
Okay.
I don't play many card games.
Gotcha.
Kind of a Midwestern thing.
So, yeah, it is. We play a lot of card games here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something my family does every time.
Yeah, we just typically have, we used to. I think we're trying to get it back. We do, a big kickoff holiday season party in my family right around, the first weekend of December. And then after that, we just... everybody just comes over to my parents' house on Christmas Eve, and that's about it. You know.
That sounds fun, though.
It
you guys
is.
did a big party. That's cool.
Yeah. You guys, they had those parties forever and ever when we were growing up. And one of the cool things, this is always my favorite part of the party, is that because they have Christmas trees in every room of the house.
Yeah,
and I mean every room. Like
it's a
garage, bathrooms, kitchen, literally every room. But there would be one real Christmas tree. And when you walked into the party, you took your coat off, and then you were shuffled into the room with that tree, and you picked an ornament, and you hung it on the tree. So that one tree got decorated at the Christmas party every year. And I always thought that was, I thought that was cool.
It was a fun thing.
That is different.
It looks different every year, because
some people know how to put ornaments on a tree, and some people don't.
True.
My mother did go back and fix it after everybody.
Oh, I have no doubts about that. Do you remember the year that
it fell? Yes.
Well, it fell because somebody was a little drunk and lost their balance and fell into said tree.
Yeah, that might have happened. It was not a family member, though.
And it wasn't either of us.
Yeah, so...
Because the tree fell, and my mom yelled Abby from the other room, assuming that it was me. She was like, Abby!
No, it's not us.
I was like, I am nowhere near the tree that just fell.
Don't cats get into the trees a lot, though, and knock them over? I think that's
can.
a thing.
They can. Mine just never have any interest in it. Neither do the dogs.
Really?
Yeah, I've got weird animals.
I've got a cat. Actually, I've got one that loves hitting all the ornaments, so I can't have any ornaments along the bottom.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, the bottom, 2 rows of branches, I can't have any ornaments on. And, and then the other one, actually, he just loves to get up and lay in the tree, which I have an artificial tree. But he loves to get up and just hang out in there. And he has figured out how to climb up the middle so that it doesn't fall over.
Oh, he's a very smart cat.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it creeps me out because sometimes I won't realize he's there. And there have been times where I've had the tree, next to a couch. And then I'll just turn and, he's staring at me at eye level from inside the tree. And I didn't realize he was there. And it's just unnerving.
How does your puppy take, Christmas decorations and everything else?
He doesn't really pay attention too much, but he does. We had a bit of an incident last year where, because shopping online is a big thing for Christmas presents and things, so packages would get delivered to our house, and he just decided he needed to open all of them and chew them up.
Oh no!
So I think he my dad's girlfriend got me a set of headphones, and he ate part of the earphones, and I got like my almost stepsisters, I got them like a pair of shoes and a purse, and they had like, they were super cute, but they had teeth marks in them, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. So he left his little mark on several presents last year.
He was just there to help.
I know, he was so excited.
He just wanted to be a part of it. Look, I helped.
Exactly. Isn't that puppy action?
But then on Christmas Day, when you're like trying to get him to open his own presents, I'm like, come on, rip it open. He wouldn't do it. And I'm like, seriously?
He had already opened his.
Of course not. Yeah.
He's like, well, I got in trouble for that, so I'm not going to do it now.
Right. He's like, what do you want from me, woman?
This is a trap, and I know it.
Yeah. Entrapment. You have to tell me if you're a cop.
Oh.
Yeah, so hopefully he behaves himself. He's gotten a lot better at not chewing up the packages. Yeah, my dad fooled him. He put a fake one out once, and I think he put like hot sauce and all this nasty stuff on it. And like since then, it's been better. But
that's good. That's pretty smart, actually.
Yeah,
probably should have done that when mine was younger. Oh well.
That's okay.
So I guess it sounds like your big push is packing and getting ready for this upcoming internship then in England. Is that kind of what you're focused on now?
Yeah, I am. They're trying to figure out also who's going to kind of be part of the W series as well.
Oh, yeah.
So just kind of waiting to hear back on what's exactly going on with that. And then I'm actually...
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what?
No, keep going. You're good. Keep going.
Oh, and then this weekend I actually get to go back to New Jersey, and one of my main sponsors has a Porsche GT Cup car, so I get to drive it for the very first time this weekend.
Oh, that'll be fun.
But yeah, other than that, nothing too major. I think I might go to like the big kart race in Vegas.
Yeah,
in a couple weeks. Yeah, I'll go to that, and other than that, just holiday stuff, and that's pretty much it.
Excellent. So what are your your thoughts and interest in the W series since you're an active? Since you're actually a racer, you're on the inside.
I mean, when I first was kind of heard about it, last year was when it started. The rumors started circulating, and they started telling people about their intentions. At first, I was like, not about it, and I was like, I wasn't keen on the idea. It's the typical I don't think we need our own race series, obviously. I think we're fully capable of competing at the top level if we're given the right development and opportunities and kind of chances and support that the men are. And sure. I think that we are, I think the reason that they think women aren't given those chances is probably because, we start out, there's a lot fewer of us that start. And so there's just as many guys that will quit and have struggles and everything else that end up, not making it. But the reason why they think girls don't make it is probably because, it's the same. It's hard for male and female. There's just less of us that start, so there's less of us that make it. And I think I think that they could have maybe put together a program where they had a scholarship to help, current females race in some of the, obviously the main series that are going on today. Yeah. But I understand their intentions, and I get that they're just they have the best intentions, right? Okay. They want to just, help women and help them get to, ultimately they want to see a woman in F1. And I think that their intentions are good, but I think maybe it could have been done just as a scholarship process. But I'm excited to see what it is, and I put some thought into it, and at first I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And then people talk to you and they're like, especially me as a struggling racer with the budget issues that I've had, I mean, if someone's going to pay for me to go run an F3 car for free, I'm probably not going to say no, and neither would it, no other racer, male or female, would say no in their right mind if someone was going to pay for them to go run an F3 car. So it's kind of I I feel like I'm put in a certain situation to, I need to race where I can. And if that's the opportunity that I'm presented with, then I'll take it.
Sure.
Make the most of it.
Yeah. And I mean, I know Pippa's like against it and everything like that, but, I guess like, she has to understand, you know, if you don't have the budget, you kind of don't have a choice. And she said that, right? So she supports, she supports women that feel like they don't have another choice. And unfortunately, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Well,
so
it's kind of like what my father says, that sometimes you have to do what you have to do to advance your career. And and it sounds like they're going to be racing in Europe next season, which makes it a little easier for you since you will be in Europe next season.
Yeah, all the rounds will be in Europe.
So
I think they released some of the
because it's with
the Norris Ring and I think the Nürburgring and Brands and something else. I can't remember all of them, but it's good tracks, and so we'll see what happens. But I'm skeptical of anything, you know, in racing out until you're actually in the car and things are going. You're always, you know, a little unsure on what exactly is gonna, you know, solidify.
Yeah, no, I get that completely. Now that'll be interesting to watch you. Hopefully you. Yeah. I mean, if it's gonna help you, I want you in it. I can't wait to see how you do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think Molly and I feel the same way. You know, that it's like I would have enjoyed seeing, you know, a scholarship program or something, but you know, like you said, they do have really good intentions, and I hope that the results of this end up being as positive as their intentions are.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like you, I don't think that men and women need to be segregated, you know, when they race, but if this is a way to, you know, help continue more females following down this path, or to help, you know, kind of give them a bit of a leg up in other series, then yeah, I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with all of that. So we'll hope for the best and see what it ends up being.
Well, cool. Well, I say if that does work out, you know that we will cheer for you from afar.
So loudly.
Well, thank you.
I doubt that we'll make it to Europe for a race, but we will cheer very loudly.
I mean, if we could come over and visit.
Yeah, there you go. Just come over and visit, you know. Watch the F1, like Silverstone Grand Prix or something. Come see
somewhere my manager just had chills go down her spine thinking about me asking for more pit time off.
I know, all of a sudden our bosses just went, wait, what? There's a cold chill.
Yeah. She's going to ask for more days.
Hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. So,
exactly.
That's
very
true.
Very true. Oh. Well, we won't take up your whole evening since you have to pack up your whole life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything else that you want to touch on or talk about before we let you go?
I don't think so, other than I wish Robert Wickens the best, and he's awesome and an inspiration, and I hope he gets better very quickly.
Yeah, I think we all do. Definitely do.
He is awesome and quite the inspiration throughout all this. So. Yeah, actually, well, let me ask you this, because I don't know that we've actually interviewed any other drivers since that. So when you see an accident like that, I mean, obviously you know that it's dangerous every time you get in the car, but does that affect your mindset? Or is there a way, you know, do you kind of try to put it in the back of your mind, or?
I think, I mean, you're obviously, like, it's scary to watch something like that happen, but it's rare if you watch, you know, there's so many crashes, like, in a racing season. And the cars now are so much safer than they used to be. And especially, like, in the categories that I'm racing in, like, it's very safe. So, I mean, I don't really ever think about something like that happening to me. I mean, definitely, like, the possibility is always in the back of your mind. But if you're thinking and you're driving around like, oh my gosh, I'm going to crash and get hurt, probably going to crash and get hurt. Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't really help anybody to have that, you know, kind of in your active mindset when you're driving.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I think that makes it's kind of that, like, if you focus on it, it will kind of come true type of a feeling. I get that.
Exactly.
Yeah, interesting. But no, definitely still wishing him the best. So, and again, thank you so much for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm happy I could come on again.
Well, we're just so excited to like follow you when you go on your big giant England adventure.
Yes.
Your London adventure. You're gonna have to come up with a cool little catchphrase.
A hashtag for sure.
Definitely a hashtag.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna think about that. That's true. I'm gonna have to come up with something.
You're a millennial now.
Yeah. Well, and you'll have to do, all kinds of sightseeing too.
Oh, Dow. Yeah.
Definitely. I will. Any chance I get, I'll try.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Well, we absolutely wish you the best of luck. And we know you're going to do awesome at anything because you are amazing. So thank you.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much for following and supporting me. It means a lot.
You are so welcome. So, all right. Well, happy packing and enjoy the holidays with your family. And
thank
next time
you.
we talk, I fully expect you to answer the phone and say cheerio.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. I will try. I'll try to make sure I do that.
She will never answer our calls again.
No.
Probably. No, I won't. I'll start answering, and I'll be like, oh shoot. Oh wait, I gotta say this, and then I'll.
Oh, all right. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You guys too. Good talking to you.
You
Thanks,
too.
Amber. Good to talk to you.
Bye.
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 You can find Sabré on Twitter. She's at Sabré_Cook. And her Instagram is Sabré Cook. Be sure to check her out. And obviously, while you're following her on everything, you should be following us on all social media. Our Twitter is FastCarsIn317. Our Instagram is FastCarsFastGirls. And our Facebook is Facebook.com/FastCarsFastGirls. Anyway, you should be following us because the hilarity doesn't just stop. The information just doesn't stop with this podcast. It keeps going, like how Alonso's coming back there for the 500, like we've been saying for a while. Thank you again for listening. We would love it if you would continue to share your podcast with friends and family and maybe review it too. That would be awesome. You can find all of that information on our website. It's www.fastcarsfastgirls.com. There's a subscribe tab that tells you how to do everything and lists all of the platforms we're on. Thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you next week.